Okay, let's start with a wild thought. What if the very system designed to create equality was actually doing the exact opposite, making society more unequal? It sounds crazy, right? Well, today, we're diving deep into that paradox. We're going to take a tour of some of the best classrooms in the world and really ask the question, what does it even mean to be educated today in the 21st century?
And this question right here, this is the heart of the problem we're tackling today. You see, the French education system, it was literally born from a revolution. Its big promise was égalité, equality for everyone. But fast forward to today, and the reality is, well, a completely different story. It's a story of deep, deep inequality, where your future can be pretty much set in stone before you even walk into your first classroom.
All right, so first up, the French paradox. To really get our heads around this, we need to put the French model under the microscope. We'll start with its amazing founding principles, and then we'll figure out where it all started to go wrong.
And look, on paper, this system is beautiful. I mean, you've got freedom of choice between public and private. Public school is totally free. There's this principle of neutrality. And, of course, secularism, or laïcité, which is a huge deal in France. It means religion stays completely out of the classroom. These aren't just rules, you know. They were revolutionary ideas meant to give every single kid the same shot. It's a fantastic vision.
But, well, that's the vision. The reality tells a very different story. When you actually look at the outcomes, that beautiful picture starts to get really blurry. The ideals and the results, they're just not lining up. So let's look at some data. You've probably heard of the PISA rankings. They measure how students are doing all over the globe. So where does France land? Right here, 23rd. I mean, it's not a total disaster. It's kind of smack dab in the middle of the pack for developed countries. But for a nation that prides itself on its educational history, yeah, this is not great. It's definitely not a number to brag about. Okay, but that average score isn't even the real story. This is where the system's biggest problem just slaps you in the face. It's the inequality. Just look at these numbers. Your shot at graduating high school, getting that baccalaureate, is almost perfectly predicted by your parents' job. If your dad's a professor, you've got a 90% chance. An employee's kid, that drops to 50-50. And a child of an inactive parent, just a 1 in 4 shot. I mean, that gap is absolutely staggering. It's huge. And it's not just our interpretation. The OECD, the organization that tracks all this stuff, says it flat out. The connection between a student's family background and how well they do in school is stronger in France than in almost any other developed country. Think about that. The very system designed to break down social barriers has become a machine that reinforces them. It's wild. Okay, so if France is struggling so much with this, who's actually getting it right? Let's zoom out and take a little trip around the globe to see what the world's top classrooms are doing. And you know what you find right away? There is no single magic bullet, no one-size-fits-all answer. Just look at these two. You've got Finland on one side, we're calling them the nurturer. They're all about well-being, equity, very little pressure. Kids don't even start school till they're 7. And then on the other side, you've got Singapore, the high achiever. Totally different vibe. It's all about high standards, intense academic pressure, and standardized exams. And the crazy part, they're both at the top of the rankings. They couldn't be more different, yet they both work. And it's not just them. The more you look, the more you see this diversity. You've got Japan and South Korea, where the focus is on discipline and a culture of respect, with a lot of social pressure to succeed. Then there's Germany and Austria, who are super pragmatic. They have these amazing vocational tracks that lead you straight into a good job. And then there's Canada, focused on inclusivity and letting each province do its own thing. The takeaway here is pretty clear. There are many, many ways to build a great education system. So this little world tour shows us there are a bunch of different recipes for success. But all of these top countries are grappling with the same massive question. In a world with AI, a world that's changing faster than ever, are we even teaching the right skills? And the answer, it turns out, isn't just more coding or more math. It's something much deeper. What experts are starting to agree on are these new fundamentals, often called the 4 C's. So what are they? First up, critical thinking. You know, the ability to actually analyze stuff, not just regurgitate facts. Then there's creativity, being able to innovate and come up with new ideas. Third is collaboration, because let's be real, nobody gets anything done alone anymore. And finally, communication, being able to get your ideas across, whether you're writing, speaking, or creating a video. But wait, it doesn't stop there. Because even those 4 C's aren't the whole picture. We also have to focus on the things that make us, well, human. We're talking about stuff like civic-mindedness, having good character, curiosity, ethics,
And maybe most importantly, those socio-emotional skills, like empathy and resilience. Why? Because these are the things an AI can't do. In a world being taken over by tech, our humanity is our superpower.
And all of this, it leads us to our final, and I think most powerful idea. The real revolution in education might not be about what we're teaching. It's about completely rethinking how we learn in the first place.
There's a great French phrase for this, apprendre à apprendre. It literally means learning to learn. And the idea is pretty simple, but it's profound. The main goal of school shouldn't just be to cram students' heads full of information. It should be to give them the mental toolkit to learn anything they want for their entire lives. We're talking about teaching them the mechanics of their own brain, how to focus, how to memorize things effectively, and maybe most importantly, how to stay motivated when things get tough.
And if you want to teach that, you need a totally different kind of classroom. We have to move away from the old model, the teacher at the front just transmitting information. Instead, students need to be active builders of their own knowledge. Think flipped classrooms, project-based learning, things where kids are actually doing stuff. It also means shifting our motivation tactics. Let's fuel learning with curiosity and the joy of discovery, not the fear of getting a bad grade. And finally, let's evaluate kids based on their own personal progress, not just by ranking them against each other.
So that leaves us with one last big question to chew on. In a world where you can look up any fact in 2 seconds, what if the main point of school wasn't about knowing things, but about learning how to learn? Just think about that. That one shift in perspective, it could be the key, not just to building better schools, but maybe, just maybe, to building a better future for all of us.